Okay, so this is how I do my mandalas. I usually start out at the left top corner and I make a line like this. So go ahead and make a line like this. It's a curved line, and then see if you can make semicircles like this.
Tiny.
So just one at a time. We're just making these. Okay, and then I like to usually follow it up with another semicircle. Now remember, it doesn't have to be a perfect semicircle. All we're doing is following the curved design that we made. We're just doing that, and then if you want, you can add a second line there, so it becomes like a border. And later on, we might fill it up with a design, or we might color it. We'll see where it takes us. And then I like to do something like this, where I take two curves and I join them at this point, at this vertex over here. So a vertex, as my daughter Mira has been learning in kinder, is that two lines where they join. That point is called a vertex. So that's what we're doing here. We're making a lot of curvy lines, and we've got another design there. Now what you can do is you can just play after this. You can do something like this, where your next line can either connect to the vertices of the previous design, or it can just be freestanding. And then I like to do another double line here usually, because I know that later when I am doing finer details in this design, I might add crosshatch, or I might add lines, or I might add circles or stars or hearts. So that's going to come later. But first, right now, we're just doing an outline of our design. And then here we do another double line if we want. And then I like to sometimes incorporate things like these. So these are triangles or birthday hats, depending on how you look at them. So it's all freehand. We're not aiming for perfection here. So it doesn't have to be a perfect straight line or perfect triangle with both sides equal. We're just playing, we're just doodling, we're just making our own designs. And then we're going to do a drape right here. You can either pick up your pen in between or pencil, or you can just go in one smooth flow like I did. And we've got that. Now you can keep doing this for a while, right? You can keep repeating this design, or you can end it with something like this, where we're basically repeating what we did in the beginning, right here, with those semicircles. And you can also do those in a continuous flow. Mira, you have to remember not to shake me when I'm making this. Okay, so you've got that design. And then what I'm going to finish up with are some hanging balls. I don't know what else to call them. I just like that Mira, you're shaking me. Can you please stop? Thank you. So make sure when you're doing your designs, there's no brother or sister or dad or mom shaking you. Because if they do that, your designs are going to be really shaky. So here we've got the outline of the design, and here maybe I just want to say hello. I don't know if that looks like a hello. Calligraphy is not my strong suit, but there's another class for calligraphy that somebody else is doing. So if you are interested in learning how to do calligraphy, then make sure you join that class. So here we've got the basic outline of our mandala design. Now we're going to fill in the details. So now I just go in, I make this into a double line, and I like to add some curved lines here. Now again, you just do what you feel like doing. You don't have to follow along and do what I am doing. If you want, you can follow along what I'm doing, but you can also do your own designs. So I'm just filling these in. Got to be aware that you're doing it a bit neatly now, because these are the fine lines in your design. Going to do triangles in here. And again, you can do waves, you can do horizontal lines, you can do curved lines, you can do circles, whatever your heart desires, really. Go with what you're feeling like doing. And here I want to do like an X pattern. So I'm doing that. And then maybe I want to fill this up just a little bit to add some more. So I have that. And I think here what I want is some circles to fill up this big empty space. So I'm going to do those circles here. Now I don't know what to do with this yet, so I'm going to let this be. I'll move on to this line over here. I know what I want to do. I want to do these very carefully, very slowly. These U shapes, it's like cursive, writing cursive U. So I'm going to do a U shape right there. My hand gets tired, I take a break, I lift up my hand, and then I go back at it. So I'm able to do about 15 U's in one go before my hand starts getting tired and shaky. So I have to remember to give it a break and then come right back at it. And you don't need any special pens. That's the beauty of this kind of doodling. All you need is a simple black pen. And Mira, I actually would like you to follow along and see if you can make this design so that we can show our friends what you made while you were following along. So I'm going to have you sit over here on my side with a sheet of paper and do exactly what I'm doing, and then we'll show what you made.
But I can't write hello like that.
You don't have to. If you can't write hello like that, you can just write hello. Or you don't have to write anything at all.
I can write love.
You can write love. That's great. So we color in. Also, you know, you can make these designs and just leave them blank and then color in with like actual colorful bright colors and not black. So I did that over there. I know I want to repeat this pattern over here. So I'm doing that right here. And again, there are mandala drawings if you do a Google search, or you ask your parents to do a Google search and show you images of mandala designs. You'll find people do it with very precise tools. So they'll use a protractor, they'll use a compass to make their circles really round, they'll use grids, and they'll use lines. So that's another way of doing it. I just don't. So it's not something that I plan out. And so there's different styles of doing these designs. So go with a design and go with a style that you think works best for you. If you just like doing freehand like I do, where things are a bit imperfect, and that's okay, then this is for you. If you would rather make these circles, like get a lid or a bowl or something like that and make them really precise, you can totally do that. And this over here, I want to make this a little thinner kind of border. So I'm just kind of following the line under it and drawing a line over it. So that's one way of doing it. And then over here, I think I want to do a crosshatch. So I'm going to do this first, where I do diagonal lines all the way through to the very end. Not really making a concerted effort to have exactly the same amount of space between them, just kind of eyeballing it. Eyeballing it means that you're just guessing how you're doing it. There's no like measurements. You're not taking a ruler and measuring. You're kind of just making a design as you go along. I'm just joining the top to the bottom part over here. So the top of the next line to the bottom of the previous line. You kind of got a cross hatch. And then I'm going to do a double line over here because that design became super busy looking. So you need some kind of relief for your eyes. And then here I think I'll do something like just lines, rectangles, I guess. small rectangles, if you want to call them that. Again, just for some relief from all the busyness of the design that we have going on. You could do circles here or any other shape. Hearts maybe. Actually, let's do hearts. Why not? Hearts are a good shape. I like putting hearts. So you can have hearts over here, all the way through, little tiny happy hearts. And color them in if you want. I'm coloring them because I have a thick nib, pointy nib here. Then over here, I just want to do straight lines all the way. Now we're used to seeing videos, art videos. My daughter and I spend a lot of time on Instagram looking at art videos, and we're used to seeing people having videos. I also upload videos like these where everything is super fast. That's called a hyperlapsed video. So for something that takes me about 20 minutes to make, on a video that's hyperlapsed, I can actually show myself making it in 1 minute. And that's because I can fast forward all of these strokes. So it looks like I'm going and done. But since we're doing this in real time, live, and you're doing this too with me, you can appreciate how long it really takes artists to make something like this. It's definitely not hard, but it's also not as easy as some videos will show you. You do require some patience and some focus for doing designs like these. Okay, that's done. Now over here I decided I wanted to do something like this, where I'm going thick from the edges and thin in the middle. Mira, you just turned me a little bit. I'm sitting on a bar stool for those of you listening in, and it moves. And every time she puts her hand on it, I move. Okay, so how's it looking? It's looking kind of like a mandala design right now, but I still think that it can be a little bit more complicated. So over here, I think I'm going to add some loops. Loopity, 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 loop. Some really tiny loops over there that fills that up. And over here, now we could do two things. We could do a circle inside and color it in, or we could make this outer circle really big. I think I'm going to make the outer circle like that, like a bullseye for target practice. And that adds some boldness to your design and a place for your eyes to look at when you look at the design. Now this circle is really off. And you know, I make mistakes in my designs all the time, and then I see what mistake I've made and I kind of make a pattern out of it so it doesn't look like a mistake. Here I'm going to add some little dots. So you know, I'm just playing around, just seeing kind of where the blank spots are, but also not filling up everything. You do need to have some blank spaces in between for some eye relief. And I think I'm done. I'm not really sure with this hello. So maybe I'll just do a hi also over here. Hi, hello. And what else do we say? Hi, hello. How are you? Hi, hello, how are you? There you have it. And then you can write on the other side of it and mail it, and it's a postcard that you drew by hand. And never forget, I always forget, so reminding you, never forget, you always want to sign so people know. Write your name, scribble it in, however you want to do it. But write your name so people know this is handmade. It's a handmade postcard. And you know what I'm realizing? I want to do a crisscross over here. So now I'm going to call it done. And now Mira's going to take over, and she's almost 6 years old. She'll be 6 years old next week. So Mira's going to take over, and she's going to show you how she draws her mandala designs. It doesn't have to be something like this. It can be completely different. So here we're going to switch gears, and now Mira's going to come over here and she's going to make her design.
So I'm going to do a heart right in the middle. Over here. Then I'm gonna make a semicircle right on the top corner. Then I'm going to kind of make triangles with curved lines. Then I'll do some hearts in between, kind of.
So move your hand away, just so they can see what you're
Over there.
doing.
Then maybe I'll do some semicircles joined together. And I can do some squiggles right where the semicircles end.
Do you want to erase that and do that again?
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing, that you can actually, if you're doing it with a pencil, erase and just do it again. And Mira, I noticed that you did not use any kind of like cookie cutter or anything to make your
Yeah.
heart. But
Because I didn't want to make it perfect.
if there are younger kids who need some help making an outline shape, like a circle or a heart,
Any shape.
could they use tools? Like, could they use a bowl? And
They could
perhaps
use a cookie cutter or anything like a bowl.
Okay.
Then I'm going to make some taller squiggles and do a double, maybe even a triple. Then I'm going to join these with a straight line kind of over there. And then I'm going to do some triangles over there that come into a semi-triangle, kind of. And I'm kind of gonna do some hanging lights.
Oh, you call them hanging lights. I call them circles. Hey, they're just circles hanging, but they're hanging.
Hanging
I like your
lights.
hanging lights.
And do some semicircles joint to them. And then that's all I'm gonna do for that. I'm gonna make a triple semicircle, and
It almost looks like a rainbow.
yeah, it does. Didn't see that. And then I'm just gonna do some spirals.
Move your paper up a bit so people can see. There we go.
A very big one over here. Some tiny ones. Some medium ones. And some big ones. And then I'm just gonna write big letters, love. Oh, and then I'm gonna make the heart double. And kind of make an X over here.
Now, do you think you'll let it be like this, or do you think you might color it later?
I think I'll get a color it later
Okay,
for the lines.
cool. Thank you, Mira.